Hello and welcome to Music 898, your Master's in Music Education Graduate Report. My name is Dr. Ruth Gergel, and I'm going to give you just a little brief overview and orientation to this portion of your master's degree. The first thing that I want you to note is that there are several documents here on this Canvas site that are going to help guide you as you complete this project. The first one is called the Reports Template, and this is a DocX document that you are going to type right into towards the end of your timeline as you're ready to submit and complete your report. The second thing that you're going to want to note and become familiar with here on Canvas is your Master's Report Handbook. So this handbook is going to remind you of everything that I'm explaining here in the orientation, as well as flesh out a lot of the details that I'm not going to cover in this orientation. All right, and then here's my email. You are welcome and free to email me with questions that you might have at any point throughout your time in Music 898 and your completion of this project. Okay, so let's talk about the timeline. How does this course 898 exactly work? Well, there are three different major portions to the timeline for you to complete here in Music 898. The first segment of time takes place in the spring before your final summer of master's study. So that spring will run from January all the way up through May or June or whenever your school year ends. And during that time, you're going to want to do two major things to prepare for your completion of this report. The first is to design and teach a lesson in your classroom that reflects your teaching philosophy as you have designed it here at your master's program at K-State, especially working in Music 807. You received some feedback on your philosophy there. You want to make sure that you take that feedback into consideration, revise your philosophy, and use that philosophy while you're designing this lesson that you're going to teach. When you begin to write your report, that will become very important because you're going to write some reflections on how those two things are connected, your lesson as well as your teaching philosophy. All right, then you're going to videotape yourself teaching that lesson. While you're videotaping that lesson, a very important point is that you do not want any students to be caught on camera. This is very important as you submit it here at K-State for the Human Subjects Board here. You want to make sure to protect the identity of your students, and it is much easier to do that if we just don't catch them on camera at all. So that will make everything run really smoothly for you to upload your video. All right, and then finally, you're going to want to touch base with Dr. Barak and just make sure that you're on track with any paperwork that you might need to complete before you schedule your final examination for the summer. Okay, once you do those things, you are ready to move on to the next portion, which takes place during your final summer here on K-State's campus. So your time here at K-State is about a week to 10 days during that final summer. And during that time, you are going to want to schedule your final examination. You want that to be with your major professor as well as with myself. So you'll want to touch base with both of us about your schedule, the coursework that you have, as well as the courses that we teach, and find a good time where we can meet for about an hour to do your final examination. You can also invite other members of your committee, and just noting that not all may be available, and that's okay. You don't need every member of your committee there, although it is nice, but you do not need every member there to complete this final examination. During that final examination, you will be sharing clips of your teaching video and sharing certain reflections based on everything that you'll find in detail in your handbook. You will do a presentation of about 20 minutes, and then for about 30 to 40 minutes, myself and your other professors will ask you some questions based on those teaching video clips, and we'll have a discussion about your reflections as well. Once that final examination is complete, then you are ready to move into the third portion of completing this graduate report. And that final step is to complete your written report on the template as provided here on Canvas. So you're going to want to use that report, use all of the directions and instructions you'll find in that report template, and complete your report. Once you have that report written, then you're going to want to touch base with me. So I'm going to help you ready that report for submission to the graduate school to help you get the approval that you need to graduate. So you'll submit that report to me first. We'll go through it and I'll help mentor you as you do that. And then you're going to be ready to submit that report to the graduate school. You are also going to submit that report to an online repository here at K-State called KREX. So this repository is where we house all of our master's reports as well as our PhD reports. So you are going to be submitting it there. You'll submit two things to KREX. You'll submit your video, your completed teaching video, as well as your written report. Now, to note, when you submit that teaching video, it will create a link for you in KREX. And that link you'll be able to put right into your graduate report, and it can become a part of your report then as you submit that to the graduate school as well as to KREX. All right, so you are ready to get started thinking about the lesson that you're going to design and teach over the spring and planning out how you're going to do that. So I wish you all of the best as you continue on in your studies, and I'll be talking to you very soon.